Hello, everybody. Welcome to Engage New York / Eureka Math Module 2. I bet you're very glad to be out of Module 1. That was a long module. We did a lot with ratios. That'll come back again. But it'll be nice to get a little break from that and move on to something new and something pretty exciting, something that I hope you will like and something that is important as you go forward with math. So we're going to be talking a lot about fractions in Module 2. And we're going to start off by interpreting division of a fraction by a whole number. So dividing a fraction, such as, let's say, 1/2, divided by a whole number, let's say 3, right? So I'm going to show you two methods of doing this. One method is just the computation way, which some of you have done in the past. I know if you were in my class in 5th grade, we did it last year. I'm also going to show you a visual model. Both are valid, both work. Some people prefer just the straight computation, and some people prefer to see a visual model and be able to draw something out. So this will kind of accomplish both tasks. So let's jump right into it. All right, we're going to start off by looking at this problem here. If you have 3/4 gallon, that should be singular, 3/4 of a gallon, poured into 2 bowls. So let's say you have a gallon of milk, but it's only 3/4 full, and you're going to pour it equally into 2 bowls. How many gallons would be in each bowl? Well, we're taking 3/4, which is what we originally had, and we're dividing it, by pouring it, we are dividing it into 2 bowls. Two ways we could look at this. One, we can make a visual model, right? And so now I've made a shape which can just represent the total amount, and I've cut it into 4 parts. We know we have 3 parts, so I'm going to fill in 1, 2, 3 parts, right? So we see that this is 3/4. Now, if we're going to split it into 2, that means I'm going to cut this right in half. Okay, so how much would go into each bowl? Well, let's take a look. This half is going in one bowl, and this half is going in the other bowl, right? So what's going in one bowl would be 1, 2, 3 parts, but we can't just look at half of it. We have to look at what was in the whole thing to start with. There would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total parts. So we would end up with 3/8 in one bowl. That's one way to do it. It's a visual model. Here's the other way, the computation model. This is a method we talked about last year. We saw it on a YouTube video. There's actually a lot of YouTube videos that have this, called Keep, Change, Flip, right? You've heard of KFC. Well, this is KCF. Keep, Change, Flip. So we're going to, I'm going to change the color so we can see it. We're going to keep this number the same. We're going to change division into multiplication, and then we're going to flip the next number. Now, the next number is 2. We know that 2, any whole number you could say is over 1, right? Well, if we're going to flip that, that means we're going to switch it into 1/2. So now it's just a matter of multiplying across. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. We can't simplify, so there'd be 3/8 gallon of milk, or whatever we want to say, in each bowl. All right, let's check out another example. Okay, our next problem here. If we have 3/4 of a pan of lasagna, so we had a full pan, but 1/4 of it is gone, so now it's 3/4 full. And we're going to share that equally. That's going to be shared by 6 friends. Let's set this up. We have 3/4 of a pan of lasagna, and we're going to divide it equally between 6 friends, right? So 3/4 divided by 6. We can set this up as a visual model. Again, I'm going to start off with 3/4. So right now I have, that's one whole cut into 4 slices, and I'm going to color in one section, 2 sections, 3 sections. So now we have that as 3/4. But we've got to split that up, right? We're using division, so we've got to, oops, hit the button too many times. We've got to cut that into 6 pieces. So I'm going to do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections, right? So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sections. And if, let's use black here, if one person is going to get this much of the whole thing, that looks like we have 1, 2, 3 pieces out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 total pieces, 3/24. I know both of those are divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So each person will get 1/8 of the entire pan of lasagna. That is, again, the visual model. Let's look at that using the keep, change, flip model. Okay, we're going to keep the 3/4 the same. We're going to change division into multiplication. We know that a whole number is a fraction. It's 6/1, right? Because 1 goes into 6 times. So we're going to flip that and make that 1/6. 3 times 1 gives us 3. 4 times 6 gives us 24. And we know we can simplify that into 1/8. Make sure we do simplify. Okay. Let's move on. We're going to look at one more example together, and then we'll talk even more in class. So we're going to do one more example. We'll do this one just a little bit differently. Okay, last example. If we have 2/5 of a meter of a cord, and we're going to divide that into 4 different pieces. Well, here's what this might look like. I'm going to do a tape diagram. Everyone's favorite, right? So if we're looking at 2/5, I'm going to break this into 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I know that this section here would be 2/5, right? 1, 2 out of 5 total. Now, if I want to compare this and break it down even further, I'm going to create my next tape diagram. I'm going to break this into 10 equal pieces. I do this because we know that this whole tape diagram is 1 meter long, because it's 2/5 of a meter, so the whole thing has to be 1 meter. This one then is also 1 meter long, and so each piece, since there's 10 pieces, is going to be 1/10 of a meter. Easy numbers to work with. So if I fill those in, you see that these, again, when we do tape diagrams, these line up to be the same size. The rest of these are also 1/10, but I'm looking at the ones that are in the red letters because that's the section I'm looking at, right? So what we've essentially done is we've taken the 2/5 and we've divided it into 4. So 1/4, or we divide it into 4, that's 1/4. 1/4 of the 2/5 is 1/10. That's one way to do it. I would typically, being honest, go with the keep, change, flip. 2/5 divided by 4. I know that that's a whole number, so really I can look at that as 4/1. I can break that down into 2/5, change to multiplication, flip it to 1/4. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 4 is 20. Both can be divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 1/10 of a meter. Okay, that's all we're going to talk about on this video. We're going to do more examples and look at a little bit more of how to do this in class, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching.